definition, are they illegally owning guns with which they do the homicides, but they're also children. And you wonder, how did this even happen? And much of it is because... Now, last night's debate focused on my desire to bring balance to Washington, a desire to bring together left and right on issues that are bipartisan in their very nature and allow us to solve problems that I'm asked about every single day on the campaign trail. No one ever asks me, how am I going to beat up the other side? That's not a question that comes up. What does come up is stop bickering and deal with the crises. And there's violence, it breaks it even further, but it doesn't heal the community because everything's broken apart, which is one of the reasons. Last night I pushed on a couple of topics. Let me just touch on the two critical ones for this gathering. The first is the border and fentanyl. Pennsylvania is number 3 in the country now in fentanyl deaths. There's not a single event I go to where I ask for a show of hands and don't see 1 or 2 people say that their families have been personally affected by fentanyl. When Oregon passed Measure 110 2 years ago, John Fetterman tweeted out strong support for it. Let's look at what happened. In Oregon, there was a 40% increase over the last year and a half in deaths from drug overdose, mostly fentanyl, 40%. Now, you think that's bad, but let me just stun you with something more important. 50% increase in homicide rates. I'll say it again. You legalize drugs, all drugs, including narcotics, you have a 50% increase in homicide rates, at least in Oregon. Now,
you've come to expect this level of service from the first and finest state police department.
If you take policies that don't work and you don't course correct them, everyone suffers. As a doctor, if I prescribe you a pill for a problem and it doesn't get better, I need to change what I'm doing. I can't blame you. And that's why I'm calling for a more thoughtful approach to law enforcement. Now, John Fetterman, when he says he wants to release 1/3 of all prisoners, it wouldn't make anyone less safe, that's an experiment. That hasn't been tried before. I'd rather not do it all at once, and certainly right now is not a good time with the middle of the crime spree we're in.
Depend on the state legislature and federal government to provide them with the funding and tools.
So I vow here and now that as a U.S. Senator, I'll do the right thing for our communities. Amongst them, I'm going to let police do their jobs. Just do your job. I want our prosecutors to do their jobs.